What if I told you that you could start a real, legitimate online service business today and it wouldn't cost a single dollar? No, I'm not talking about scams, and there are a billion of them out there. I'm talking about using the tools that are already available to you and are completely free. And I have done every single one of these things and used every single one of these tools. So I'm very excited to share with you how to do this. So all you're going to need is a cell phone, a computer, and internet access. You do have to have those three things. So stay with me, and by the end of this, you're going to know how to create your online business, and I'm going to give you a whole bunch of tools to help you get started, as well as links to everything I talk about in this video. So let me start by saying I've done this. When I started Fox Social Media, I actually spent $7.99 because either Google Sites wasn't available or I didn't know about it. I don't know which one, but I had to buy the domain name foxsocialmedia.net. And I don't have that anymore. I have foxsocialmedia.com now. However, my dad, I was lucky. He knew how to create a website and host it. So he did those things for me, but I did everything else. And I have since created a Google site too. And for a client, I created one for me and one for a client. So they work very, very well. And let me tell you how to go about this whole process today. So I've actually done everything we're going to talk about today. Now, first thing we're going to do is you're going to go and get your Gmail. So you're going to create a Google account and get yourself a Gmail. So just go to gmail.com and get your business name at gmail.com. Okay, no dashes, no spaces, no junk in the middle, just straight out your business name as long as it fits. If you have a super long one, you might have to be a little creative. But you are going to use the same username across the board everywhere that you use a username, every platform. So ideally make it your business name. Now, once you've done that, you are going to go to sites.google.com. Let me caution you here, make sure you're logged into this new Google Gmail that you just created. Otherwise, it's going to go to your default Gmail if you have a different one. So make sure you're logged into the right one. Then you're going to create a Google site. Now, this is super, super easy, so you don't have to have any sort of skill in web design or anything. And I do not. And man, what I've learned to do with websites is amazing. I'm super right-brained. I do not have that skill set, and yet I've been able to do incredible stuff with websites. So I'm going to tell you how to do this. And you're only going to create 4 little sections. There's a template. All you're going to do is type into the template. And the first section you're going to create is the very top, and it's called the hero or the header. And that is going to say what your business does, who you serve, and how people are better off by using your service. So it's essentially a run-on sentence. Now, the next section is going to be a more detailed description of your business. You're going to get a little bit more into, here's who I help, and this is more details about your service, and maybe some stories about how people are better off after using your service. If you don't have those, don't worry. You're gonna get them. So don't worry about that. Next, the third section is going to be about you. So if people are working with you and paying for a service from you, they're going to want to know how you're qualified to provide this. So it can talk about your education, but the more important thing, if you don't have that, don't even worry. Unless you're a doctor, a lawyer, something that really requires that specific education. If you're in business, a lot of times you're better off learning from an amazing mentor or company because you'll be taught real life and learn real life skills. So put that down. Put down the information of what did you learn? How did you get qualified for this? What's your experience? If you've had any outcomes you want to share, write that down too. And again, this is about a paragraph long. Now, if you have any trouble writing these paragraphs, I want you to go to ChatGPT. That's an AI platform, probably the most popular one. And I love this one because it writes so well. And all you have to do is put in the information you've written and ask ChatGPT to put it in a better format for you and tell it the purpose of this description is to be on my website, and let it write for you. But make sure you check it. Don't just slap it in your website. Read through it, proofread it, make sure it's correct. So that can help you a lot. Now, section 4 is going to be your contact information. And you're going to have at least an email address there. You can use your Gmail. If you have a cell phone number, you can put it there. If you're not comfortable with that, go to Google Voice. So Google Voice is where you can get a free Google phone number, Google Voice number. And this number you can leave a kind of an outgoing message, and this can take calls for you. This is what I do to screen out, mainly I do it to screen out sales calls because I don't take them. And that way I never have to call them back. It's just a message there. I don't give out my cell phone. Some people do, and that's okay. I don't. Because I hate spam and sales calls. But yeah, you can do this. You can actually even have your Google Voice forward to your cell phone if you want to. So that's another great system. But on here, if you meet someone at a brick and mortar location, you can put that address. Don't put that unless it's the mailing address of your business. Now, if your mailing address or your actual physical address is your home, don't put your home address. Keep it private. You don't need to do that in most cases. So I would opt for privacy on that. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to create your Google business profile. This is free. And here's a caveat. I lost mine. And here's why. So Google requires you to have a brick and mortar location in order to have a Google business page or Google business profile, which I wish they would change. So when I lived in California, I had my business address was at a mail center. So it was like a physical address, and it worked great. We moved to Texas for 2 years, and I got another mail center there in Texas. Same exact thing. Google took my page down because I didn't have a brick and mortar address. They realized that one wasn't. I don't know. And I won't put my home address in, so I don't have a Google business page anymore. That's the one downside of this, and I really wish they'd change it. But if you do have some sort of brick and mortar mailing address, go to business.google.com. But make sure you're signed in to the right Gmail account, your right Google account. Make sure, because you want everything under your new business Google account. Make sure it doesn't default. I've got a couple, so I have to always make sure it doesn't default to my main one. I have to make sure I'm logged into the correct one before I do these kind of things. But go ahead on this Google business profile and get it all set up. Again, there'll be a couple silly questions, ignore them, but give people the information they actually need, add some photos, things like that are important. So you're going to want to do that and get this all set up. The other thing I love about this is Google, in my opinion, is the best place to ask customers and clients to leave your reviews. Now, of course, you have to have the Google business profile. So if you do, ask from the beginning. When you ask for a review, ask for it to be left here. And all they have to do is go to your Google business page. And there's a leave a review. There's reviews, you click it, and then there's leave a review button. So start here. Let me say this about Google. Your Google business profile is the best place, in my opinion, to ask clients and customers to leave your reviews. One, I think it's the most ethical. And two, it's the most visible. And three, it's going to help boost your SEO. It's going to help you rank higher in search. So Google is the largest search engine in the world. They own YouTube also. And so when people are leaving you reviews and it's on Google, it's going to help you rank higher in search. So there's lots of positives for leaving your reviews on Google. Now, the next thing you're going to do is set up your social media business pages. So for this, I've got some resources that I'll link to in the description and show notes to help you decide. I've got a little ebook that's going to help you decide which are the best for you. But, as kind of an overview, I would say most everyone should have a Facebook page. And I know, if you're younger or you're not a fan of Facebook, you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? Well, Facebook is still the number one social media platform in the world. It still has more users than anyone else. Number two, I love Facebook ads. They work when you know what you're doing. They work so well for my clients, and they're less expensive than others. So I've had the best luck with them. Number three is when you're using those ads. So I'm using Facebook ads, and people are filling out a form to request more information from my clients. I can communicate with those people via Messenger. So not only am I getting their email, but, every once in a while there's a typo or someone gives you a bad email or whatever it is. I can message them through Facebook or Instagram. I just go through Messenger and I can still communicate with them. So it's like double, it's like twice the ability to communicate with your leads. So anyway, we'll get to that later. We're not going to do anything that costs money right now. So the other thing I want to say is that if you have a professional business, like, how do I say this? You're dealing with working professionals or other businesses, you won't probably want a LinkedIn business page. So LinkedIn is really great for, kind of professional. I don't even know how to say everything's professional if you get paid for it. So it's a really bad way to say it. But, if your customers and clients will be there, like mine are small businesses, they're going to be there. So I want to be on LinkedIn. So if you're very, very visual, you're an art teacher, you do home decor, or you teach cooking, something like that, you have to be on Instagram. And if your clientele's on the younger end of the spectrum, TikTok is great also. So, you're going to pick at least two. Make it easy on yourself. Pick two to get started. You're going to set them up. Again, exact same username you used, exact same name you have on your Gmail, everywhere. Everything's the same. If you don't already have a logo, I want you to go to Canva, Canva.com, and just sign up for the free plan. And you're going to go and create in a square image and make a logo. I don't care if you have any design talent. I don't. And I use this all the time. I've actually gotten a lot better. This program is made for us non-graphic designers to create things for ourselves. They have boatloads of templates. They have, images and graphics and cool text, free. Now you will see some paid images on there, and they're $1 each, but you use the non-paid for now. We'll just go with that. There's enough. You're going to create your logo, and it's going to be something that represents your business or your service. And you're going to probably put your business name under the little design. Just no one knows you yet, so let's make it easy for them. Now, this logo is going to be your profile picture literally everywhere, from your website to your Google business page to your social media pages, absolutely everywhere. The other thing you're going to need is cover images. And those are the big ones, the big image. You can, again, use Canva and make this simple on yourself. You can just use a pretty color, and you can just use whatever you've decided you want the colors to be for your brand and put some wording on it. Make it easy on yourself. But you can do that through Canva as well. You will need that for your social. You may want one as the header background on your website. So go ahead and create that for yourself as well. Now, the other thing I want to ask you to do right off the bat, and I call what we're doing right now setting up your base. And I promise you that you will thank me if you follow all these instructions. We get so excited and we just want to go and, do our business. And this is kind of the boring part. But this is so crucial. And if you do all this right from the beginning, you're going to not miss out on a potential client or customer because you didn't catch you didn't write down their email or whatever. And you're going to look professional and ready and prepared and like a real business right from the start. So let me say this too. On social, you're going to want to do 6 posts. And in my free resources, there is a list of 50 post ideas, and that's going to get you started. So again, you can use Canva to create graphics for those. I recommend a graphic for every post, by the way. Picture, video, image, graphic, something. I don't do text-only posts. So The other thing I want you to do is to take a Google Sheet. So you go to Google Sheets, and you'll find those right in your Google account. They're pretty easy to find. And you're going to, again, make sure you're signed into the correct Google account, and you're going to create a Google Sheet. So the reason you're going to do this is you're going to start tracking email addresses of people who have given you emails and have allowed you to email them. And, this is people who have called you, or it's a family or friend interested in your service, or you bumped into someone in the grocery store who wanted more information and gave you an email. You're going to write down their first name in the first column, last name in the second column. Column 3 is their email address. Column 4 is their phone number, if you have one. Column 5 is going to be how you came in contact. Did they call you? Did you bump into them at a baseball game? Did your neighbor recommend them? Whatever it is, you're going to write it in there. And then the last column is going to be notes. And that's where you're going to put things to keep track of your follow-up with these individuals. Now, down the road, we're going to upload this to an email marketing platform. But for right now, we're not going to miss a single one of these. You're going to keep track and keep this list going from day one. And let me say this. So most people will need either 7, 9, 11, whatever, however many, whatever, resource tells you. But they need to hear about you, see you, receive something from you many times before they're going to buy from you in general. So that's how, that's one of the main reasons we're doing this, is that we're going to make sure we're keeping track, and we're going to have the ability to communicate. Now, when you have a tiny email list, you can just BCC, blind copy, so that you don't want to ever let someone see the other's email. You just put them in the BCC section, blind copy, and let's say you have 10 people on your list. You can send the 10 an email right from your Gmail, and that doesn't cost anything. Down the road, we're going to get more professional with this. We're also going to learn Facebook ads and some other things that we're going to do. But for right now, we're doing everything for free. We're doing all organic marketing, and this process is going to get you set up. No problem. I mean, this is going to help you tremendously. So please take this video and rewatch it, pause it, and do each step in here. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments. And thank you so much for listening. If this has been helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, and please share it with anyone that you think this video can help as well. And I will see you in the next episode.